Billin, Uptown Murph.
Top Billin.
Yo, what got into the Atlanta Falcons, man? Salute to the boy Terry Fontenot, because my man was doing the damn thing with the draft. I mean, first and foremost, they probably got the most talented player in the draft. That would be Jalen Walker from Georgia. That dude, if we're talking about talent, meaning the myriad of things one can do, man, what can't Jalen Walker do, right? I don't know exactly where they're playing, at least as of me recording this right now. I'm sure people will update me in the comment section. But, man, the Falcons already have a couple of good off-ball linebackers. That's where Jalen Walker would absolutely crush it at. They always have a need for edge defenders. And I'm talking about edge defenders, not edge rushers. I think Jalen Walker could slot in as an edge defender and do big things, right? I mean, beyond that, right? Xavier Watts at safety. Houseway. It's great value right there. Obviously, Billy Bowman as well, right? He can play myriad of positions, man. I think a small, short, brief draft by the Atlanta Falcons, but they absolutely crushed it, in my opinion, but none more so than my man, James Pearce. I got to take a look at James Pearce. That boy right there has the freak written all over him. Every time I would see him, I was like, man, that cat reminds me of Javon Curse. Anybody remember Javon Curse? Yeah, that dude was a damn animal. James Pearce with Jalen Walker and Arnold Ebiketie. What? Come on, man. You already know how the Falcons used to do it, right? When they had John Abraham, I felt like, damn, they could always use somebody next to John Abraham. They could never find that dude, whether it be Jamal Anderson, Lawrence Sidbury. After that, right, they had Vic Beasley for a little bit, right? He was explosive like a couple of years or something like that, but they could never put it together and have multiple players who could defend the edge and rush the passer. Now they may have quite a few of them. Let that sink in. The Atlanta Falcons are coming. So I talked about being an edge defender, not just an edge rusher. How much pride and passion do you take in defending the run? Now look at this from James Pearce right here. It's pretty funny right here. He's telling the 3 technique to reduce, right? He wants them to reduce maybe to a 2-eye so he can get in there as well, so they can crash down and possibly stop this short yardage situation. And look exactly what happened. Look at that. Bang! A little friendly fire there, but look who does it. Look who does the damn thing right there, right? But man wasn't getting the signals, right? Something was crossed up in his brain cells or something like that. He's telling him, he's like, bro, what are you doing? Reduce down. He gonna make him reduce down. Bang, fertilized his own player, right? Made him touch earth, and then he's still the one that crashed down and bang, look at that. I don't know what the fuck, why the quarterback turned so quickly. Right? Scared, right? Bang. Right in his back right there, sent shockwaves through his spinal cord and his spinal column and all that right there. And my man's getting after it right there. I love to see some shit like that. You'll see most of these people, they'll duck out of a play like that. They're like, well, I'm on the edge. I'm not going to be able to really impact it that much. My man crashing down and crashing into his own players right to defend the run. That is something that I noticed about James Pearce. He is equally happy to defend the run as he is to get to the passer by any means necessary. A similar deal right here. You can see him on a squeeze down. He has to play it safe because, of course, you got the quarterback here on an option or on a zone read here. He could obviously take an 88 out the gate, out the backside right there. So he has a slow play this, but then he continues this trek, right? That's one of them Jones that I had to pay attention to right here because look at that. My man's chasing it down, right? Like I'm telling you, man, with my experience playing this sport, covering and shit like that, right? If it's not there in backside pursuit for a lot of people right there, they'll lollygag that shit and say that somebody else has it. That's just it right there, right? I'm not sure what's going on right here with this particular breach, right? People are hung up on the block, but my man Johnny on the spot continues to run, continues to rush, and gets my man lifted. Damn, why you lift him up like that, right? He's coming and bringing bad intentions with it. Splaka-tire. Look at this. Look at that. Slow play it, does his job there, and then helps run down the play right there, right? Probably could have been worse if he hadn't been hustling. Now, he has a 3-pronged approach as far as rushing the passer, right? He'll take, of course, an outside approach, He will go through you, and then he will make use of inside, right? Some of these guys, right, as simple as that seems, some of these guys can't work a three-pronged approach because that's just the basis of it. Then from there, you add 2 moves on to the inside. You add another move on, right? Maybe going through someone like a certain type of way. And, of course, on the outside, you can add various moves to that shit right there. That's how you build a move set, right? A set list. And look at this joint right here. I love this. Look at this. Oh, you see that wide step? Gave him that big action. Look at that. Came off right here. That foot in the ground. Got skinny by getting wide. Look at the long step he takes, right? He's making use of that long frame that he has, right? Long legs, long arms, all that right there. Long arms of Allah. And look at that heavy-legged waist bending. Can't even get barely a hand on him right there. Look like he just touched his arm, right? Hell of a move right there, right? We're just looking at the application of it. We're not looking at the actual play. We're just looking at some of the stuff that he has in his arsenal, right? This is much just teach tape, if anything. Another outside approach from a 2-point stance. We know Jeff Ulbrich has a lot of versatility amongst his front. So you see guys on their feet, or you can see guys in a 3-point stance, 4-point stance. He can do it all, right? He's a scheme specific, right? He's scheme specific because he's so versatile that he's not scheme specific. So whatever scheme you're running, he's specific to that particular scheme right there. But check this drawing out right here. Hezzy them. Look at the pushing people off their spot, man. Like I mean, a lot of people say maybe you got to finish more or whatever like that. Sometimes, man, some of these guys are good. They're playing football too, and they're able to shake the spot. However, he pushes people out their spot a lot. You see what happened just then right there? It almost looked like he went from the inside move. He made your man go inside. You saw the reaction from the tackle, right? Big action gets big responses. So look at the hands right there, and then look at that jab on the inside. Made him go inside. Now he's heavy-legged, waist bending, and reaching. And if you reach, I'll teach you. See him getting on the outside there, flushing the QB from the spot, making him vacate the premises. And there it is. I want to talk about his strength. I know when people see somebody with a long, kind of wiry frame, they're going to automatically assume that they're not strong, right? No, you're not strong because of your little long, wiry frame or your short, wiry frame or whatever frame you have. James Pearce doesn't have them problems. The best part of his game and his set list to me is his bull rush. Like, look at this joint right here. He looks like he's almost impossible to anchor against for some odd reason, right? He's definitely deceptively strong, or however people going to characterize that as, right? But once again, giving him a hezzy, bang, getting into his chest. Ooh, he took one to the chops too, right? So you know he's at least 25% concussed. Bang, right? Still working it though, right? Still working it for muscle memory. But listen, this dude is unable to anchor. He's walking this man to the lap of the quarterback, right? He's on rollerblades, on ice, and all that. And he takes a tumble, right? Boom. James Pearce not even looking at him. That was some wreckage and carnage. But look at this, man. You would expect the dude to be able to, boom, right here, sit down, sink those mud hooks in, and it be a wrap. Nope. He's taking abuse. Look at that. What type of abuse? Oh, shit. He took one back to the chops. So he looked like he about 85% concussed right there. Might have to go ahead and give him a 100% concussion rate on this one because he ends up falling down right there. Bang. Down goes the gator. What are we doing here? This might be my favorite one right here. You know you take the hearts of men when you can get someone to stop moving their feet this quickly. Look at that right here. And then, bink! You trying to help out, little man? Excuse me, little man. I'm trying to get to your quarterback. What are we doing here? Look at this right here. What type of pass protection is this, first and foremost? My man overextends immediately, right? Gets hezzied up out of there, right? He's damn near past the line of scrimmage, right? He's almost getting a first down as an offensive lineman. First down, right? He's 10 yards downfield when he should be trying to retreat and get there. Look at him in FEMA mode, just trying to do anything, right? He has a little bit of help right here, but yeah, running back, no bueno. Bang, right there. Separated that man from his own soul, right? Made him get a reverse first down, right? He went the wrong way, 10 yards right there. He's offering Salah, right? He's on his Islam. He's offering Salah. What are we doing here? Chasing the quarterback out of there. That is a damn good move list right there. This again training shit together. Oh my God, I got to see that hezzy move. You see how he came out the line of scrimmage first and foremost. Look at it. You see the hezzy on him, right? Varying the rhythm of it, getting him to reach. He don't know what's coming on. Then he explodes up out of it. Plays the hand right. Hit him with the arm over. Bang. Slapped him on his elbow there. And then little man trying to represent here. Like, come on, let's get it. Bink. He was air napping, right? He's taking a good snooze all in the air. Bang. And he touched earth and offered Salah. He's on his player. He's on his team. Let's go. Now, if I have a critique of him, it's sometimes that his aggressiveness disallows him to maintain the edge, right? You don't want to lose contain. Check this joint out right here. Look at this. Bang, right? Walking the dog. But look at that. Look what happens right there, right? Quarterback damn near scores because he lost contain a little bit overeager, right? But he did walk the dog on this bad boy. I love it, right? Turn that hezzy, right? Turn the hezzy into power, got him into his chest. Speed into power, as they would consider that, right? I call it finesse into power, right? Looked like he was going to hit him with the crossover or anything like that. And look at that. My man's not even prepared because he doesn't know when to even start to get in his set. And boom, can't anchor down on this man. I'm telling you, walking the dog. But, man, a little bit too much. He should have read the situation and maybe walked the dog a little bit outer. So then my man would have to try to detach, right, or vacate through the line. But he's able to get outside, and he's a good athlete. And we see the results there. Look how smooth he looks dropping back in coverage and flipping his hips. Look at this. You saw that? My man on the pedal, right? On his pedal. Great zone awareness here. Look at that. Flip those hips and it's ready. Coach Ober can definitely do something with that right there. I wouldn't do it all the time or something like that, right? But in a pinch, right, you want to run some fire zone or something like that, my man can definitely get out in space right there. I love the smoothness of that, right? I was looking at this, right, for like 5 minutes just seeing this. I'm like, man, this is pretty unique. For somebody to pedal like this, get in the pedal, 6'5", 245 pounds or whatever it is like that, being able to flip his hips and being able to cover the flat if the tight end was going in the flat. Last one right here. Watch this man control the line of scrimmage and then get back into the run game. Dude, that's some serious physicality right there. Look at this. He squeezes down, bang, right? You get into the grill of all the interior offensive linemen, causing a 3-car pileup, moves all of them out the way, and then he's flat back down the line of scrimmage, getting on the running back. What did I say? A complete edge defender. That's what the Atlanta Falcons got themselves. Man, I'm telling you this right now. You better look out for the Atlanta Falcons. They have a whole lot of high-end talent out there. I don't want to get into it first and foremost. You know what I mean? I'm just amazed that the Falcons didn't do some goofy shit, right? It's like it was right there, right, for you to take a Jalen Walker and then, oh, wait, hold on. I buried the lead, right? I know people were talking about them giving up a first-round pick next year for him. Does it matter? Right? You got the first-round pick. If he's the guy, does it matter if you get him now or, you know what I mean, somebody like him next year? I never understood that, right? You want the player. Are you more interested in the player or the thought of a player? You don't know who's going to be available next year or where they'll be picking or anything like that, or even if the person they would pick next year would even be any good. If you feel like this guy is not, in my opinion, think about that shit. This dude, to me, is a top 10 talent in this draft, and you pair him with another guy who's probably a top 5 talent in this draft. That shit is incredible to me, so I wouldn't worry about any of that, right? But they didn't mess this one up, right? They can promptly send my man Kyle Pitts back home, though, and that would be cool because they messed up on that one. That was one that I was flabbergasted by, and it hasn't worked out in my opinion. So they need to possibly rectify that situation, or maybe he'll eventually catch fire, but we'll see there, all right? But, man, congratulations to Terry Fontenot and the Atlanta Falcons doing the damn thing. We shall see how it works out. That division is wide open, in my opinion, right? I don't think Tampa has a stronghold on it at all. You could very well see the Atlanta Falcons in the playoffs next year making some noise. Let me know what you think about that one, all right? With that being said, it's your boy, Murph. Top Billin Villains all day long. Patreon.com/Top Billin Villains if you want to get in on that, right? Some of these joints I have to chop up. I'll put the full unedited ones up there so you can see these bad boys without the content ID claims on them, all right? Salute.
Top Billin of Town Murph.
Top Billin Villains.